What's going on, everyone? Tallen back here, and today, before we start today's video, I just want to say thank you everyone who donated to the cause of the Hokkaido earthquake / typhoon incident that happened a few weeks ago here in Japan. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a stream during the craziness that was all the natural disasters going on around here, and I wanted to donate as much money as we could possibly raise to the people of Hokkaido because they are still recovering from parts of it. A lot of it has been obviously fixed, but to this day, it is still being fixed in some of the other areas, especially more rural areas. And we raised about $150. And so I got paid today, and all of that was donated. You are currently seeing the official notification on there. Not to mention, I also posted on the Twitter page and everything like that. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who was able to donate to the cause, and it really felt good to do that. So without further ado, guys, let's go into today's video. Alright guys, so if you have not been following me over on Twitter and you've been wondering where my videos have been for the last 3 days, I actually have been up in Tokyo, and I was able to go to the Tokyo Game Show for the very first time in my life. Lived here for 4 years, haven't been able to go just because of scheduling conflicts and everything like that. But finally, I was able to go. I got a last-minute chance to go, and I was like, all right, you know what? We'll make the most of it. So, and I had some videos prepared to kind of upload and everything, but, you know, scheduling and work and everything just got out of hand. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to stress myself out too much, so I think my channel can wait. You know, there are a couple days maybe where, you know, I don't upload a video because also I know that notifications don't work all the time. And so maybe if someone didn't see my video on the release day, maybe they're like, oh, hey, it's the weekend. It finally showed up, even though it's a day late. But whatever the case is, I want to talk about my experiences. A couple of games I actually got to try out myself. It was a lot of fun. Wasn't able to try out everything, unfortunately. You know, big, long lines, obviously, most popular games, like any kind of game show you'd go to. But I kind of want to go over my experiences, what I tried out, and just my overall thoughts on it and everything. And if you get a chance to come, definitely go. I definitely say it's worth it. So, first off, as you guys already know, I was able to go. One of my friends did get me a little kind of like exhibitor pass, although frankly, unfortunately, it would have made more sense if I had been able to go through on those news-like days for like the developers and everything, where it's not open to the public. But unfortunately, I had work that day, so I couldn't make it up. But I was able to go Saturday on the weekend, obviously, and there was a lot of stuff to check out. It was crowded. There were a lot of people. You guys don't think Japan can hold a lot of huge expedition with a lot of people? You'd be wrong. I mean, they're holding the Olympics, I guess. But yeah, anyway, we got to check a lot of stuff out. So one of the very first things that I had to go and check out the booth, and even though I wasn't able to play it, of course, was Kingdom Hearts 3. This is obviously a huge hype game for a lot of people. Whether you like it or not, you have at least heard the name Kingdom Hearts, although all those like side games that I think got a little carried away with, in my personal opinion. But they were handing out bags, pamphlets, everything. I got there at like 10 a.m. or so, and there was already a little thing across this, like, so I had like lines that you could wait in to try and go play games if you wanted to. And of course, it always says, you know, like, current waiting time, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever it is. And for the Kingdom Hearts 3 one, it already had a little poster saying, sorry, tickets to try and demo this game out have been sold out before half of the event is even over. I was just like, oh, well, I guess I'm not trying that game. But nonetheless, I got to see some people playing from the distance and everything like that. Unfortunately, and I don't know if this is the same at E3 or Gamescom, but someone can let me know down in the comments if you have been there yourself. They are very particular about what you can film, what you can take pictures of and everything. All of the big named games that you would want to go see at a game show, you could not take pictures. I mean, they had people going around like this, was holding everything. I saw some guy like over at another booth trying to take a picture of the other booth, and they came over and stopped them when, you know, told them, you know, delete the photo and everything. I was like, oh my god, okay, we're not taking photos and videos of this. Sorry, guys, I don't want to get shoved out of there. So, but it was really cool to see everything. There were a lot of different games. Obviously, you know, Sony had their own thing. They had, surprisingly, a lot of stuff for, like, PUBG and Fortnite. They had some tournaments going on there as well, as long as also with some fighting game tournaments like Street Fighter. They had fighters there and everything, you know, definitely promoting the Switch version of everything like that. So it was really cool to see. Capcom had a huge presence there. It was definitely really cool to see. One thing they also had, and I actually got to play a lot of games there, was a lot of the indie section. There's a section for indie games for mostly Sony and the Switch, actually. Microsoft was pretty much non-existent there, although they were using some like Xbox controllers and some of the indie games if they're trying to offer like, you know, PC, you know, Switch, PS4, all that fun stuff. Some of these games obviously are going to Xbox. It's just that Xbox itself doesn't have a big presence because Xbox is just not big in Japan. It really isn't, right? It's the direct competitor with Sony. Sony is a Japanese, company first and foremost, so you're not gonna really see it. You go to any game store here and everything like that, you'll have walls of Nintendo and Sony, and then literally Xbox is like 2 shelves, if that, sometimes. So that right there is why you don't see a lot of Xbox stuff, but it was really cool. But I did get to try out a lot of games. Hopefully you're seeing the footage up on the screen right now. But I did get to see like some of these guys. A lot of them were kind of, you could kind of see the direction they were going with some of these games. Obviously one of them was very reminiscent of the Dark Souls series and everything like that, which I got to try out, which is pretty hard. And then there were some other kind of like a little more fun games that they're trying to, advocate for the Switch and everything like that, because I know the Switch kind of has been promoted as like an indie developer's dream. Why not have a little game like that you can play on the go, and people are more likely to pick it up because, again, it's gonna be a cheaper game because it's indie developed, and then it could spark some potential. There have been a lot of great indie games over the last decade or so, so it's been really cool to see that. So, I mean, one thing that I was actually personally surprised to see, because I never really heard about it when it originally came out here, just around the world in general, and then just over time, seeing what people play here, whether it's my friends, my students, or anything like that, was the fact that they were heavily going with the whole Red Dead Redemption 2. It was pretty nuts. I was just like, wow, you guys actually play that. I'm actually surprised, because like things like Grand Theft Auto is not particularly the most popular game over here. It's definitely more on, over in Europe and in the States and everything like that. So I was genuinely surprised. I really was. I was like really cool. I was like, okay, yeah, you're catching my attention right now. So one thing I did get to play, because a lot of people did want me to go and try it out, and unfortunately, like I said, no footage, because it was, lots of people just saying like no pictures or anything like that. But I did get to play Jump Force. Yes, I actually did get to go in. I got to play the big anime hype game that everyone right now is either loving or hating. And I have to admit, it had its moments. And a little side note, I actually got this little pin thing that I put on my shirt, I guess. Whatever. I tried to get a t-shirt, but unfortunately, the merchandise there and all that section of the event and everything was just like lines out the door for like 2 hours. I was like, nope, sorry guys, I'm not able to get anything. So, but I did want to quickly talk about my experiences with Jump Force, because a lot of people were saying, they want me to try it out. What was it like? Was it fun? Was it not fun? Does it work? The characters, all that fun stuff. So I'm not sure about which build I played. I don't know if it was the same as the E3 build. We did have obviously Goku, we had Vegeta, we had Bleach characters, we had Luffy, we had Zoro. We didn't have Sanji, we didn't have Yugi. I know Yugi was just announced like a couple days before the TGS event and everything like that. Who else do we have? I don't even remember. I'd have to go back and look at my, at like the screen and look at all the character lists and everything like that. But I only got to play one round, unfortunately. So the way it works basically is they had like 7 or 8 TVs set up. You jumped in, you picked 3 characters, and you got to fight 3 computer characters essentially. And they, they're kind of on your, I guess, your normal difficulty, right? Something where you can jump in, try the game out, because they had like a little sheet thing that was showing you, basic combos and button presses and all that kind of fun stuff. And so I went into it, and I was fighting. Who did I pick? I picked Ichigo is his name. Yeah, main Bleach character. I haven't read Bleach in so long, and I know it's ended for quite a while. So no one grill me in the comments, please, for that. All right, half these characters I don't even know, and I live in Japan. So I tried him out. I tried Zoro, and then I had Vegeta on my team. I gotta have Jeets on my team. Why not? So anyway, but it was actually, it was very cool. It had a tag team dynamic going that you've seen in things like Marvel vs. Capcom, Dragon Ball FighterZ, all that kind of fun stuff. The gameplay itself, in terms of smoothness, is really nice. It definitely, it's got some polish to it. Obviously, it's still in an early state, so it was nice. The one thing that I've always had, not difficulties with, but just something I've never liked the feel of, I would say, is more 3D arena fighters. So Xenoverse, Xenoverse 2, the Ninja Storm series and everything like that. Not saying they're bad games by any means. Just for me personally, I've always preferred a 2D plane compared to a 3D plane, because there are definitely times where I was fighting and I pressed the button and it looked like I timed it perfectly, but then nothing happened. And so again, sometimes you can break that down to, if it's online, at least you can break down the netcode sometimes, or connection issues, or maybe again the version of the game or the alpha, all that kind of fun stuff. But it didn't have those particular problems for the most part. I would say though, there were a few times where I like the little chart thing, and it was like, okay, hold L2 to charge up, and all the characters had it, whether you were Dragon Ball or not or anything like that. So I held it down. I was like, okay, charging up, got to the full bar and everything like that. And then it also said, okay, hold L2 and then press either, you know, X, square, triangle, circle to then execute certain special moves, and depending on how much bar you have and which button you press, you will do either a really big Ultra one or just kind of your normal one essentially. And I would press it and nothing would happen, and I was just like, why isn't this working here? So again, I don't know if maybe I wasn't understanding something particular or not, but there were other moments though where it would say, like, you know, because it did prompt me because I was getting beat up a little bit. It was just like, hey, by the way, press this button to block. If you time it perfectly, you will counter or reflect it or whatever, you know, it happened to say. And when I would do that, I kept looking at, like, I even turned my camera just a little bit to make sure I wasn't hitting me, and I just do it, and it wasn't happening. So again, I know that's down to timing, practice, and all that fun stuff, but that's personally why I have not liked a lot of 3D camera-based games, where I do prefer the 2D one. But at the same time, I will say the game was fun to play. It was nice to jump in and just pick random characters you would never see go at it against each other and just have a ball at it. It was cool to see some iconic moves and everything like that. Seeing everything from Vegeta's Final Flash to Zoro's, Santorio moves and everything like that. So it was really cool to see that. Now I know this game isn't shooting for some kind of, you know, Evo style, you know, hardcore competition or anything like that. I already know that, right? This is definitely gonna be a game that's gonna be more fun to play, just more lighthearted and everything. The two things I will say though, that if they can improve / you know, make better compared to, you know, a lot of Bandai games in the past and everything like that, is to your online experience. Okay, even Fighters to this day has some terrible online experiences, so I really hope they can hammer out things like dedicated servers, make sure that connection, you know, obviously connection can vary person to person and all that kind of fun stuff, but hopefully make that experience a lot better in terms of just, you know, inviting friends, again, connection issues and everything like that. And then second, I would say is, again, I don't know, again, if this was based on the build of the game that I was playing, but just make sure that if you are that dedicated to saying that, hey, in order to block or parry or anything like that, to have these exact button presses and everything like that, make sure the frames to do that are up to par about what you'd want to do. Because again, if this game is going for more of a casual route, which is totally fine, if you're going to have some moves like that, but then half the time they don't work, you know, it seems a little weird to explain, and I know it's probably going like, what the heck is this guy talking about, you know, and all this fun stuff. It was, I can't explain it perfectly, but if you get the chance, like, I know there's like a closed beta that is coming out, and if it is the version of the game that I played, I think you'll kind of see it. Maybe some people won't. I understand that completely. Each to each his own experience and everything like that. I'm just saying, you know, kind of balance that kind of stuff out. So anyway, but overall, I would say it was fun to try out. Unfortunately, I wish I could have played a little bit more, because you only get to fight one match. Once you defeat the 3 enemies, it did the usual trailer at the end of the battle thing, and it said, coming in 2019, pre-order now type of thing. And then the guys came over and they was like, okay, next, you know, move along, because it's a long line. It took about an hour to get through, I'd say, me and my friend that I was with. So yeah, it is what it is. So but other than that though, TGS, it was a fun experience. It really was. You know, obviously I didn't get to try out all the big wig games and everything like that, but it was cool just to see all of like the cosplay and everything, all the different, you know, booths and everything. I mean, there were technology booths, game booths, you know, merchandise booths, everything like that. There were some crazy computers there and everything like that, some of the tech and everything that they're using, so it was pretty cool. Wish I could have gone the other day. Unfortunately, I was a little busy at the time, but you know, hey, that's what next year's for. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the little video here. Again, I want to say thank you to everyone who did donate for the Hokkaido cause, and also for understanding why I didn't have videos up this past weekend, but it was a lot of fun to go into TGS and check all that stuff out. We got to meet a few people and everything like that. Didn't meet any developers or anything, but it was fun just to meet people, talk with some of them and everything. It was pretty cool. So it definitely got me re-motivated, I would say, to continue to do videos and Twitch and all that fun stuff, because I do want to keep pushing that forward. Make sure you follow me over on Twitch as well. We got a lot of streams coming up this week, because we got Android 17 and cooler finally dropping. It's going to be awesome. So anyway, guys, like I said before, thank you so much for everyone that stopped by. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you happen to be new. Make sure you hit the notification button as always, because, you know, YouTube and all that fun stuff. So anyway, guys, again, I'll say it for the final time. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, everyone, I will see you all in the next one.